It has taken the WNBA almost 28 years to get to the point where we are now. And this year, something clicked with the WNBA, and it's because of the draft of the players that came in. It's just not Caitlin Clark. It's Reese. We have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized. And I don't think we can just pin it on one player.
Almost billionaire owner of the Mystics, who co-founded BET, Sheila Johnson, ran to CNN to cry and complain about how Caitlin Clark is bigger than the WNBA. We recently covered how Cheryl Swoops on Gil's Arena couldn't hide her disdain for Time magazine choosing an Athlete of the Year. That's what this is all about, a magazine cover. One that came with an interview that addressed any societal or political questions people have had regarding Caitlin. Even though Sheila Johnson does give credit to those responses, Sheila doesn't like that Caitlin was, quote, singled out. She wanted the whole league to be the Athlete of the Year somehow. Not because that makes sense, but because singling out one player will hurt other players' feelings. And as we know, nothing is more important than competitors' feelings when a professional athlete wins a cover for a magazine. None of these count though. Objecting to those covers doesn't give you a good enough reason to be interviewed at CNN. An interview that gave Sheila Johnson an opportunity to highlight her own players or the league as a whole. She chose not to do that.
There has been, this phrase has been couched, hasn't it? The Caitlin Clark effect. Why do you think that has been the case?
Well, I want to be very diplomatic about this. It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen. So last night, we read Time magazine, where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover and said, the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have? Because when you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings. And so now you're starting to hear stories of racism within the WNBA, and I don't want to hear that. We have got to operate and become stronger as a league and respect everybody that's playing and their talents.
Which will have people saying, I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Quote, when you single out one player, it creates hard feelings. Deeply embarrassing thing to say out loud about female athletes. But this is where we are as a society today. It's all about participation medals and vibes, just so feelings don't get hurt. Even in what's supposed to be a competitive professional sport. But not everyone is being blinded by their emotions, as Lexi Brown of the Sparks responded on Twitter, trying to bring the focus back to basketball and competition. She would tweet, saying that after having to move her team's games to a bigger arena when they played the Fever is absolutely insane. Can we please stop taking steps backwards? She also didn't even mention her own stellar rookie. Just unserious. So much negative discourse and non-basketball topics. Can't wait to change that. Being a team owner in a league that isn't profitable should probably mean you don't randomly shoot at the person that's helping lift the entire league up. As Millie would say, she's a billionaire. Rumor is she doesn't give back to her community, funds her team poorly, she's on CNN and can't even promote any of her players, and she's insulting the one player in the WNBA that brought 31% of her home attendance figures for victimhood propaganda. And then Nay said, let the owner tell it, CC isn't the reason this happened. Talking about the largest crowd in WNBA history when Caitlin Clark's Fever played against the Mystics. And the breaking of these records isn't an accident. It's because Caitlin looks like an accountant, but plays basketball like Steph Curry. No matter how great all the previous WNBA players were, none of them played the game this way. To be fair, the owner of an opposing team doesn't have to praise anyone not on their team. But this isn't just not praising someone. This is a media run shitting on the catalyst to profitability for your whole league. Sheila Johnson could do better, but effort doesn't seem to be her thing. As someone was saying, Sheila Johnson is worth $850 million and doesn't put a penny back into the neighborhood she came from. She doesn't even come back to her high school to show little black girls that they can become her. My little cousins go to that same high school and don't know she exists, which is sad because that's free. All she has to do is stop by sometimes and make her presence felt. Just knowing that she exists can open doors that people didn't even know were there. And where are the comments from the current star players? Do they have anything to say? Now, Caitlyn doesn't need her competition to rescue her like a damsel in distress. But if an owner is minimizing a player, that will never be to the benefit of another player. As Ashley would tweet, I never understood why Asia, Stewie, or Diana never speak up. Y'all have been the face of the league. Why not come in as a whole and stand up for Caitlyn and help stop the nonsense? The owners are no better, so what makes you think the players would be? Are the players taking the lead from the owners, or is it the other way around? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Click this video if you want to see a magazine cover really bother someone.